What did you do now? You messed with it.
It was like that.
Good day, sir.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Good, thank you.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Good check-in.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
Grade A podcasting.
It's warm today. Ate a lot of chocolate. Ate a lot of cream cheese. Ate a lot of cinnamon buns.
So it sounds to me like you're living your best life.
I know. It's got jam thumbprint cookies. Amazing.
So good.
Normally I have a bite of things, but I had like 4 of those cookies. You can have the rest, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Any check-in? Any news? Any updates? Any?
No, as far as I know, most people are still alive. No celebrity front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to be. Found out today that Maya would be more sad about Cale McCarr dying than us.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
So that,
Seems a bit early to be planning for that, though.
yeah. Because what, he's like 22?
Yeah, he's in his early 20s. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Cool beans.
So my question today, I wasn't actually prepared for my real question for today. So
Which makes me even more curious to know what that question is.
yeah.
What do you need to prepare?
Something. Can't tell you what.
Do you prepare for this?
No, I don't.
So I'm sensing.
But that one I have to prepare for.
So confused now.
I don't normally prepare. Normally I prepare enough to know a question.
Do I? Are you? I'm not taking a test, am I?
No.
Yeah.
I just have to prepare my side of things.
All right. Sounds ominous.
Yeah. Well, it's a future episode. I regret ever bringing it up.
If you sit down and there's a lawyer beside you and you say you're prepared, I'm going to be super pissed that day. I'm just telling you right now, it's going to throw off the whole vibe of the podcast.
Why would I have a lawyer? Like,
well, if you're preparing paperwork and you're just like, hey, bam, and I'm like, shit, I can't say anything on the podcast.
Like separating from you?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you start with a standing order. I don't know.
Why would I? What?
Well, you need someone. You don't know the garbage day, so you still need me around.
Why would I hire a lawyer? We've already discussed this.
Babe.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell everybody why you won't run for prime minister?
Exactly.
It's too much paperwork.
Exactly.
So
why
wouldn't you hire a lawyer to do the paperwork? Come on.
Because that's a phone call. That's research to find the lawyer. That's too much work for me. If I want to leave, I'll just say, okay, I think we're done. Okay, cool.
Huh.
Kids can decide where they want to go. Cool. I want to go to the cabin a couple times a year. Cool. That's it. You can have anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
What do you honestly think I would take?
I don't know.
Only thing I want to take is you, babe.
Aw.
That's it. The only thing.
You're so sweet.
Thank you. Anywho.
Yeah, I don't get the whole,
yeah,
I hate you. I'm going to stick it to you. And sorry if you are high conflict divorce. I apologize. I just don't get it though, because the kids, we're kids, get caught in the middle of that. I think that's another day. Or should we bring that?
No, I think we're no.
That's a heavy topic.
That's a super heavy topic.
I do want to talk about it. It's on my mind because I see it a lot and I think it's important. And I understand that couples do need to have lawyers sometimes involved. However, that's a different day. I'm not ready for that one yet.
All right, cool. You got to prepare for it. You got to prepare for it.
I have to prepare for it, but I just need
that'd be a tough one
because I'm entrenched in it right now. Yeah. It's so bad. It was bad before COVID, but since COVID, it has been so bad, so heavy. And I just see the weight that it carries on each pair in the divorce and the separation, but the kids, man. Yeah. Oh my goodness, the kids.
Yeah. No, we can cover this.
Okay.
Today's a Big Bang Theory day. It's not a Game of Thrones day. We don't need that heaviness.
Yeah. I like Big Bang Theory.
It's all right.
I like Game of Thrones, but it's heavy.
It's heavy.
I love New Girl.
New Girl's awesome.
I've never watched a series to the end, like one that's multiple seasons. I've never watched anything to the end. Like short ones, Ozarks.
Yeah. Ozark, but that wasn't a comedy. Like sitcoms are different, right?
Yeah.
Greatest sitcom of all time is still Seinfeld.
But even serious ones. Like unless it's just a short, like that was a few seasons.
We made it through Lost.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, we were hating it by the end though. It was too weird.
Did we actually watch?
Yeah, 100% right to the end.
Oh my god!
And Game of Thrones, and we were angry. We were part of the angry mob.
Yeah, I suppose. Actually, yeah, I guess that's true. Most of them that are forever and ever go on. I don't watch the end. Like we gave up on Community. We gave up on.
What? Community's so good.
I do like it, but I don't know. I get bored. But New Girl didn't get bored. I was mad at the end that it was over, so I'm rewatching it, and it's still awesome.
That's good.
I don't know why I like New Girl.
Everybody needs, well, because every character is pretty funny in that show.
Yeah, and I laugh. That's the only show I laugh every single episode.
And you don't need. It's not driven by the trope of her and the guys. Like each one can have their own storyline, any given episode, and they're all hilarious. Yeah. Every single one. I see that.
It's the only one I laugh at every single episode.
I find I go to a lot of shows for nostalgia, not necessarily. Like I watch WKRP because I loved it growing up. Right. I watch Cheers because I loved it growing up. And there are funny moments, but the one that consistently will still make me laugh is Seinfeld because it's just so ridiculous and still so applicable that it cracks me up.
I should go back to that. I watched it intermittently, like when it was on TV. It's gotta be your kind of sense of humor. But what I find the best about it is it's one of those shows that almost every episode is applicable to real life. Like you could pick up a line that you can like, oh yeah,
right, and stuff like this. So, but it's easy. Like I can jump in any season and know the episode and it's hilarious and move on. But I don't seek out new shows to watch, right? Like when people were raving about Community, I watched Community and it was awesome. Mm-hmm. But I don't go back to Community. Yeah. Right? Because I'm going to go rewatch a show. I'll go rewatch one from my youth.
Yeah. Started watching The Office with Maya.
That's a good one.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Seinfeld, I refer to him quite a bit and I really like him. I refer to him a lot just in he knew to be successful, he had to write a joke a day. Yep. And so he said, that is what I do. Don't break the chain. Just like Stephen King, have to write 600 pages or whatever. Or no, not 600, 6 pages a day. Yeah. And then he's got the whole day to do whatever. And Seinfeld said, don't break the chain. And so he would write an X on the calendar every day. You know, when you're trying to do something and establish a new habit, 10, whatever. Yeah. It's not a big deal. But when you get like 10,000, you don't want to break that chain. And he did. He wrote a joke every day and he knew it was successful. Actually, so I talk a lot about it, about habit making, resilience, perseverance, sticking with it. But you mentioned that show today, actually.
Yeah, Comedians at Cars Getting Coffee.
Yeah. And
it's fantastic.
The episode that he did with Alec Baldwin.
Oh, yeah. That's a great one.
I remember Alec Baldwin talking about, like, we're so lucky. Aren't we lucky? Like, aren't you just so great? Something like that about luck.
Yeah.
And Seinfeld's like, no, it's not luck. Like he didn't actually explain himself, but I know his backstory about how I worked and I worked hard and I worked every single day. He didn't know he was going to have the best comedy of all time and, become who he was. But so I talk a lot about that.
I love that we've turned into a pop culture podcast. This is fantastic. This is my jam. There's a documentary about him right around the time he decided to start touring again. So sometime after Seinfeld ended, he retired his entire act. And he was one of those comics that would tour on an act for years, right? Like Bill Burr, he turns his act over every year. So he's
same joke, same act.
Yeah. So Jerry would do the same ones over and over and over and over.
No, because then I don't feel bad doing the same talk.
But there's other guys that don't do that. And Bill Burr set himself, it wasn't Bill Burr. It was Louis C.K. set himself a goal of he retired his act every single year. So he would write it, he would tour it, he would refine it. He may or may not do a special. He would scrap it and start with all brand new material.
Oh, wow.
Which when you think there are guys that have a whole career touring the same act for decades with minor changes, that's a monumental feat, right? Say what you will about Louis C.K. and what he did and all that, but that's insanely.
That's not the guy from Gangs of New York, is it?
Louis C.K.? No.
Step Brothers?
No, that's John C. Reilly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, little.
Yeah.
Man, you went for Gangs of New York as his first one.
I wasn't thinking.
Like not Talladega Nights.
That's what came up in my head.
Not Boogie Nights.
That's what came up in my head.
That's really funny because that's one of the more obscure ones that I remember him for. But yeah, to my original point, Seinfeld retired his act and then filmed the process of recreating creating a new one and then getting it basically special worthy. And it's awesome. Like it's so great to see someone. I love that sort of inner process, inner working sort of stuff. That's why I like Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, like to hear these guys talk and how they think and how you can see guys that are just trying to make Jerry laugh. And Jerry loves that. And so the whole episode might just be them literally, like Ricky Gervais just is trying to make him laugh the whole time. It's great. But anyways, that's totally off topic.
But I don't know. Like, I mean, I brought that piece up just because of establishing habits, establishing, perseverance, because I think actually maybe this is a good topic. Maybe. It wasn't what I was going to talk about, but because our kids see overnight successes.
100%.
They see us maybe being, and I've talked about this before, like Willow, one day I was in front of hundreds of parents and she's like, why aren't you scared? Like, how are you so brave?
Yeah.
You're not even scared. I'm like, well, first of all, brave isn't not being scared. That's fearless. But I am. I'm nervous. You see, when I get up there, my voice is going to quiver. So they see the end result. They see Seinfeld and believe, oh, like he was just lucky, overnight success. That's how it happens. Yeah. Unfortunately, we do have, overnight sensations with TikTok and, influencers and things like that.
But you look at guys like Kevin Hart, right? Kevin Hart became one of the biggest comedians, maybe second biggest comedian next to Dave Chappelle in the entire world. And it felt overnight. Then you go back and look at it. There's a great story of him on the Graham Norton show talking about some of the gigs he used to do when he was first coming up. And he did one at like a chicken wing joint. And it was so bad, people were throwing chicken wings at him. And like he made a joke and nobody laughed. And all he heard was this lady in the audience go, oh no, baby. Like, just like she felt bad for how bad he was. And so you hear those and you're right. Nobody buys the process. They all buy the finished product. And by doing so, they don't see the struggle attached to it. Right. And even those personal development guys that sell the secrets, and I'm going to show you the secret to make millions, and it's these easy steps. They're boiling the process down to its lowest common denominator, so you think it should be easier than it is. So when the reality of it hits and you're like, why do I have no money? Why can I not sell anything? Why is this not working? The book said it was supposed to work. It inherently puts the failure back on you, not them, because what they're selling is a finished product. And some people are really open about it. Like some people are really good at saying, no, when I started, like this failed, this failed, this failed. I was this much in, like I was going to lose my house. I was going to lose this. And then it started to take off and it still took X, Y, Z. But 90% of what's out there is the dream polished, finished, and working being sold. Right. And it's wrong. It doesn't give you the full story.
And I think that that's really important for us to remember, for all of us, because I think it's easy for us to compare even as adults, but for children too, to see that journey to get there. Right. And so, because, with the whole growth mindset thing, we talk about just do your best and think positive and but there is a lot of work. And I don't think we talk about that work. I don't think we see that work. Even like Cinderella, right? I use Cinderella as an example. So I think there's a few pieces here. Cinderella, we just see, oh, she's the beautiful princess, right place, right time. She was so lucky, but she had a team of people. And this is the other thing. It's not the one person who did it.
Yeah.
It was, they had the right environment with the right support and the right people around them.
100%.
And so we hear all of these stories of, and people might even say, I was an orphan child and I did it on my own, but there was someone in there. There was a mentor, there was a teacher, there was opportunity. I was reading this book, Bounce, and it was by an Olympian, table tennis Olympian.
Nice.
Still boggles my mind that table tennis is a sport, not ring it in the Olympics. But anyways, so he's a table tennis Olympian. And so he did all of this research on athletes. And I just read another one too. I've been reading a lot about sports psychology stuff. It's interesting, but business as well. And even if you look at business, actually, there's a lot of research saying the most successful entrepreneurs and like CEOs and just, successful business people, not even business people, like in any field, it's kind of 40 35-ish is the average age where people finally hit their stride. They got to experience lots of different things. And so I'm kind of going on a side branch here, but like, I think in our minds, we think graduate school, university, go right into your career, but it's not. It's, they shouldn't know. Take that gap year, figure out what it is that you want to do, explore, live, go and do things. Then take general studies, take lots of different things. I actually did that. I was in anthropology, my first couple years, anthropology and drama and English and ballet, and I took French. I was all over the place before I figured psychology was really it. But doing all of these things, however, whatever it is that we're going to do, there's going to be those people along the way. So how do we build our board members, right? So maybe I would have you to support me with any family, child related things, but I even think of kids and I'll get them to create their board members. So these are the people that I would commiserate with friends. If I have friendship fires that I could talk to, if I've got math problems, this is the adults that I can go to. If I've got some sibling stuff. So knowing that these are the people that I can go to for this support, right? I think that that's really helpful. But going back to the sports people, I think we were just talking about this the other day too. The amount, whether it's sports or entertainment, I mean, sports is a bit different just because of the abilities.
Yeah.
The amount of time and effort that has to go in. And a lot of these athletes, that's their focus. And they sacrificed a lot, right? And so I think of our own girls that don't put in the effort, you know. They just went to a shot clinic, which was awesome. And I've been, you know, really encouraging them to practice their shots, their forwards. And they're really hesitant to take shots. Yet there's all these other girls who are always taking shots after shots after shots. Our girls have pretty good shots, but they're not willing to go and practice. And they're like, no, in the game, on the ice, that's when I'm going to do my shooting. And I'm like, to be a good shooter, like, you got to shoot. Yeah. Well, there was that one guy I was talking about the other day. I think it was a tennis guy or a golf guy. I can't remember, but he said he would do 2,500 shots. I think it was a day. It must have been, because then it would be 1 million shots a year. And you get good with 1 million shots a year. Yeah. You know, versus one a day is only 365. So yeah. Anyways, I went on I opened up a few different tangents here.
Yes. Yeah, no, you're right though. Like, part of the problem, and we've talked about this in different areas, is, and again, this feels like we're going back to crapping on social media, but the lives and the success that people portray online, for the most part, is fake.
Yeah.
Right? And yes, there are people out there that are insanely successful, but there are far more people faking it until they make it in that context. And so I'm overly pessimistic when I read something online, right? And someone, you know, with an inspirational quote or using LinkedIn to map out their journey and how it's brought them so much success. But then you look at their background and you're like, okay, we've got differing views of success, right? But that's not what people see. Most people see the statement, right? They see the post on Instagram, or they see the Snapchat, or they see whatever, and it's all this presentation of success, right? And I do believe in fake it till you make it, but I don't believe in bragging about anything, really, right? And the most successful people I've come across they're more than willing to help. They're more than willing to talk to you. They're more than willing to teach you. But it's not super glossy. This is so great. Look at my fabulous life. This is how you could live. It's all, no, I've got a boring company that sells a boring product that I busted my ass 18 hours a day for 4 years or 5 years or whatever to make profitable. And now we're at a point where I make X amount per year, right? But nobody sees that, right? They see Mr. Beast, right? And they see all these guys on YouTube and on all these other platforms that are selling a fake story. And so it is extremely important. The girls will do this. They're like, we went to a golf simulator a few weeks back, the four of us, and Willow made a comment, Dad, why are you so good at golf? And I laughed. I'm like, I'm not good at golf. Like, I've got friends that destroy me. I am barely average, right? In terms, but I love it. But I am infinitely better than I was the day I first swung a club when I was 18 years old, right? Yeah. But I can't convey that to her. I can't tell her how many times I went to the driving range to, how many times I golfed, how many times I, just tried to work on one shot and all, because they don't see that. They have to do it themselves, yeah. Right? And so,
well, even painting, like me, I'm doing a painting right now, and she's like, "Oh, I could never do that." I'm like, "Dude, like, absolutely, you can." 100%. But I have had some classes in painting.
Yeah,
you've had 0 classes in painting. Or she looks at her sister, how talented her sister is. Well, her sister has been doing it for 16 years.
Yeah, and literally will spend hours a day drawing.
Yeah,
right.
Well, that one Arctic Monkey,
yeah,
Alex Turner dot drawing, it took her 6 hours to do it.
But on the flip side, when she gets motivated enough, she'll do the same thing. But I think that's the important lesson is don't celebrate the success before you celebrate the process, right? And the effort.
And see that, yeah.
Yeah, and celebrate those milestones as they get better. Like, since the shot clinic, Willow has been out every single day, every day. And her shot in about a week is lethal. Like, she is pinpointing from across the cul-de-sac where she's hitting it, and it is whipping in there. It's not slow. Maya's practiced a couple times, but which is fine, because even the coach said, no, just all you need to worry about is like 20 minutes a week. Like, she is starting them off slow, right? Deliberately. Because she's like, I don't want them to get overwhelmed. I don't want them to think that they have to start at 1,000 a day or anything. She's like, I want them to get good and start seeing the results, and then I'll push them to do more. And so I'm cool with that. Willow's super excited, right? She sees this as the way she's gonna, I don't know, she's gonna become a superstar. Maya is more hesitant, but the process is there and it's started, and they're starting to see results, right? And that to me is the biggest thing, is there has to be a result that's a positive reinforcement. There doesn't have to be the ultimate success after one attempt. And that's where people lose the plot really quickly, right?
Yeah. And so I think it's being able to talk about, and I know I've talked on this podcast about having a mistake of the day and talking about your unexpected events of the day, mistake of the day, how you worked through it, your fails. And kids love hearing our stories, even growing up, like through school and when we were kids, and our fails. But looking at their heroes, or someone in the field, or even not in the field, it doesn't even matter, but looking at those stories, I think that that's huge. I think it was Michael Jordan who didn't make his high school basketball team, right? And look at where he is today. And I don't know if it was Michael Jordan. I think it might have been, who lost something like almost 3,000 games.
Yeah, he counts his losses as much as his successes.
Yeah. And he's like, so even though I was the superstar, look, I've lost, I think it was like 2,600 games and 20 or 30 championships where it was his shot that could have won the championship, that he missed it, but, and not even that. So looking at that, but still persevering, right? And I'm going to do a little bit better tomorrow, and a little bit better next year, and a little bit better in my practice. But then looking at those journeys too, right? That like this Saeed guy, the table tennis, he was looking at, I was this amazing table tennis with amazing reflexes, and people just thought that I had this natural talent. And that was what the whole book, it wasn't about natural talent. There is no such thing as natural talent, but it was the right circumstances with the right support and the right motivation. That's another piece. If his parents were forcing him to play table tennis, even if he put in the hundreds of thousands of hours he did, he never would have been great.
Yeah.
But he was interested. And so, his parents happened to buy this used table tennis, just something for fun, right? And had it in the basement. And he happened to have a brother who was super good and interested in table tennis, and they trained together. And then they happened to have a gym teacher who happened to run a table tennis club. right? Like it was just all of these circumstances. If it was just a couple of kids there who didn't have that gym teacher, they never would have made it, right? Totally. So it's those circumstances. And he met someone with even faster reflexes because their table tennis thing was jammed into a closet. And so there was no room. It was literally their like gut was right up against the table tennis and there was no side room. So they had to get that ball right on the table. And so even interesting too, he started talking about the fastest men on the planet, the fastest people on the planet. So whether it's endurance runners, the fastest endurance runners, like marathon runners, are all from Ethiopia. Mm-hmm. And the sprinters are from Jamaica. And there was other ones too but yeah, all the endurance, Ethiopia or Kenya. And so, I was actually talking with my class about this and I put up pictures and I'm like, these are the fastest men in the world, right? What do you notice about them? Nobody would actually say they're all black, mm-hmm. right? But there's that inherent, okay. So one got the closest was like, there's cultural similarities. I'm like, they are all black. And I think that there's this assumption that Black people have this natural talent. Mm-hmm. But when we look down, it's a very small percentage in this one tiny area of Ethiopia, one tiny area of Kenya. They both have high elevation. And so when you run at a higher elevation, your oxygen intake is greater. So like even here, training in Calgary to go run a half marathon in Victoria was amazing. I blew my time out of the water because I was at a higher elevation. So not only that, so it had nothing to do with genes, I think, and I'm going to bring it back to a point. So higher elevation, more oxygen intake, and these kiddos lived in remote areas in their villages. And when they had to go to school, there was no public transportation, no school buses to go to school. So some of these kids were running to school over 20 kilometers a day. So you think these kids, by the time they're wanting to run, and they're poor, so there's no other sports. Running is a free sport. Yeah. And they have idols from like that one guy, I can't remember his name, from the 60s. But he's an idol. He won Olympics, right? And so they look up to him. Running is something that's within their means. They run 20 kilometers a day. By the time they're ready to train, they have got clocked so many more hours than professionals who maybe in Canada or other parts of the world are going to start running. So we look at this natural talent, and I think kids fall into that, oh, I don't have that talent, so therefore I'm not going to try. And that's not it. Yeah. It's putting in that work. And so we just got to see,
One of the coolest things since Kobe retired and then ultimately died, unfortunately, there's way more people doing reminiscing, like telling stories about Kobe, right? Because he was considered one of the best of all time. And as you dig into it, the consistent piece that people keep coming back to is exactly that. Yes, he was talented. He had talent from a young age, but he was insanely interested in the sport. He was insanely competitive, like probably one of the most competitive people that ever lived. But he put the effort in. Like there are stories of him playing a game until like 9, 10 at night, going out to the club and with like a rookie, and then saying to the rookie, okay, I'll see you at 4 a.m. for workout. And the rookie's like, yeah, okay, sure. And he's like, no, like if you want to go party, you go work the next morning. I will see you there. And there was a story I just heard. It was really interesting. It's kind of vulgar, but not super vulgar, but he was known, and Michael Jordan was known to be the same. They were brutal to their teammates, like a-holes. Like people hated playing with them because they were so demeaning and rude and just dismissive. And so finally, I think it was Kobe's coach asked him, he's like, why are you like this? And when he said his answer, the coach was like, oh my God, like it makes so much sense. He's like, if I can't trust them to put in the work, like I put in the work because I want to win, why the fuck would I trust them to pass them the ball?
Right.
right? Because in his mind, if you're not working as hard as I'm working, you don't want this as hard as I want it, you are completely out of my realm of even caring. And then he would only seek out those people that he'd learn from, that would push him, that would make him better, that he could make better because they wanted to be better. He would surround himself with like-minded people and would seek people out. Like there were stories, Michael Jordan said he would call him 2, 3, 4 in the morning, text him, hey, explain to me how you did this. Hey, tell me what you did in this situation. Hey, I was thinking. So this is a guy who had won rings. He had won multiple championships and was still seeking out people he felt could make him better up until the day he retired. And the day he retired, like his final game, he posted some insane point total. Like most guys in the NBA would salivate at a game like he had as his last game when he was retiring, when people are usually worse. So it is more about teaching about the effort, right? The process, the dedication to just doing and not worrying about the output. Like there's a goal, you can have a goal, but don't judge yourself solely on that too early. Yeah. Right. And we've talked about this before, right? When it comes to public school and learning, I don't care if my kids learn what they have to learn at school. I care that they learn how to learn and how to seek out opportunities to learn and educate themselves and never stop. Like I know so many people that as soon as they get their college degree, it's like a switch went off and they don't want to learn anything else.
Yeah.
And they'll openly say, oh, I haven't read a book since university. What? Like, what do you do with your brain and your time? And so to me, that's a critical piece, right? Love learning. If you're interested in something, to your point, find those people that are going to foster that, help you, teach you, guide you, push you, and keep going. And you'll hit whatever you want to hit. But it's not an overnight thing. It's not I decided I'm going to be great at this. And lo and behold, here I am on TikTok telling everybody how great I am. Because 9 times out of 10, those people on TikTok that are killing it, yeah, they're already rich families. They already have a team behind them helping them, right? It's super rare you see any of these guys come out of the dust and make it huge. But
there's 2 pieces to that. One, I'm gonna forget. One is to your point about not continuing learning. Oh, just remembering it's like the Tiger Woods and the Colbys and the Saids, whoever. They were interested.
Yes.
Tiger's dad wasn't out there forcing him. He loved it. I mean, his dad was.
Yeah.
But Tiger loved it and was motivated, right? Yeah. He didn't hate it.
Earl, though, I think he pushes that boundary a lot.
Yeah.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. He absolutely loved the game to begin with, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's important. Yeah. We can't just say, Kate, we want you to be a hockey player and we're going to force you to do this. If your kid doesn't want to, then it's going to be. But how do we foster like that love for learning? But whatever it is, I think that that's important, that we are reminded and that our kids see that journey, because they don't. And I think a lot of us don't remember and see that journey. The other one is just to your point about sort of stagnation. There's so much research, even just in psychology. 50 hours, after 50 hours of practice, psychologists plateau and actually get worse in their work a lot of the time. 50 hours, that's like 1 week, 2 weeks of working with clients. They plateau and start getting worse. And it's true, not just of psychologists, it's of everyone. It's because, we graduate, we've done our practicum, we've had our supervision, now we're on our own and we think we know it all. And the worst are the people who are overconfident in themselves, overconfident in their work. And so it's that deliberate practice, ongoing, seeking supervision, seeking consultation. I do a lot of consultation. I train a lot of people, but I'm always seeking my own mentoring, doing my own training weekly, every week. I mean, I'm reading books upon books. Well, you see my bedside table. Yeah. I mean, I've got 20 books there right now, stacked up, probably close to, maybe 12 books. But I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly doing trainings almost every morning. I'm doing some training, and that's the missing piece. But I want to.
Yes.
Right? It's because I want to learn this. And oh my gosh, what does this mean? And now I got to go and look at, all of these kinds of things. So I think that that's important. And actually, it was really interesting because the example and that's something that I've been talking about for a long time, is how we plateau. And so a lot of my training programs are around like, look, it's not just a webinar that you're getting. I'm also giving you feedback. Go and put it in practice. deliberate practice. That's what's going to make you grow. But a great example with the site guy, this Olympian, table tennis Olympian, his mom was learning to be a typist. I don't know if it was his mom, but it was a story just to get, like, women were coming into the workforce. And so there wasn't anything. And so the only way this woman was going to get a job was to be quick at typing. And so she took a class and she practiced and practiced and practiced to get to, I don't know, I'm just going to make up a number. I don't know if this is good or not, but like 70 words a minute, right? So she worked up until whatever the minimum was. And then that was it. And she plateaued. She never got any faster again. And that's what happens. We just go into this autopilot and we don't keep growing. Where she could have, if she wanted to keep pushing, but we just reach that level and think, okay, I'm done. And it's not. So I think, you know, all of this, it was going to be something different. But in all of this, it's about making sure our kids aren't only seeing that final outcome. They're seeing that journey. They're seeing the struggles, but building the support. They need to have the right environment, that know-how, knowing that we have to put in the effort, get a little bit uncomfortable. But we also, as parents, need to instill that love for learning. Whatever the learning is. And
100%.
Reading, content, knowledge, sports, whatever it is, it's just the love for more and more and more and more. We're never going to know. Like, you know, I'm an expert in anxiety. I'm still learning about the brain. I'm still learning about anxiety. I'm still learning about parenting. There's always more to learn. The more we learn, the more
we live in an age where it's never been easier to get free post-secondary level education. Like MIT has a ton of their courses free online. MIT, right? Like, you've got Udemy, you've got Coursera, you've got Skillshare, you've got Khan Academy, you've got all of these places, some paid, some free. I constantly have a course or something going. Like, if I'm doing kind of brainless work where I'm doing admin, or I'm doing paperwork, or I'm doing something that doesn't really need me to be super engaged, I always have a course running on my other screen, because I'd rather listen to that as I'm working than nothing, right? And it seems like a good use of time. But it is. It's a critical skill that a lot of people don't. And they see their kids, some kids get so into Minecraft, right? As an example. They consume everything Minecraft. Well, what else can you teach them from that? What else could you get them interested in? STEM is right there, right? You're talking about a ton of fundamental principles that feed into STEM. Get them into a camp that teaches them more about math, teaches them more about physics, teaches whatever, and see where it goes for them, right? To your point, expose them to things until they find that thing, and then just fan that flame so that they see the encouragement, and you appreciate learning with them, right? Like, one of the things that, and this isn't really a learning thing, but I used to spend hours, days just looking at new music, finding new, because I love, and to my earlier comment, I love things like that. I love learning about bands. I love learning about what brought them together, what broke them up, why they do what they do, how they do these things. And back when I was a teenager, there was none of it. Like, it was like, if you found a British music magazine, it was like gold, because you were learning about a completely different thing. Kids literally can go on and learn at their fingertips now about any topic they want, but it still needs to be encouraged, right? And the girls have started to do that. Maya is constantly seeking out that sort of stuff, right? And coming back with trivia and things she learned. And some of it I don't care about, but I love that she's going to find it, right? Tell me about it. That's cool, right? So yeah, I agree. It's about building that supportive bubble that encourages them to keep going.
And finding the people, and it's not just, it doesn't have to be parents. And a lot of these stories, I mean, Serena Williams had the dad who totally was the one supporting her and giving her all of the opportunities, right?
King Richard.
Just
played by the pugilist Will Smith.
But it was a great movie, I gotta say. It was a really good movie.
Oh, you watched it? I never watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
I won't watch anything with Will Smith anymore.
I watched it before all of that went down.
I started to dislike him after I read his book, and then he slapped Chris Rock, and I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. He can go do his thing. Yeah. He's a weird dude.
I always liked him until.
But that's the image he sold. Right.
Oh, yeah.
But then, you read the book and you're like, things are not quite the way he's actually portraying them. Like, it just didn't seem right. And you're like, I'm getting a weird Oompa Loompa vibe off Jada Smith. And then sure enough, it all kind of...
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Anywho.
Nonetheless, Serena Williams' father. So there are the parents of the world,
Totally.
but our kids having multiple people, it really does take a village. And so, reach out. I know Maya is interested in I can't talk forensic psychology, but criminal profiling sort of things. And so I'm reaching out to forensic psychologists, right? I could teach her and mentor her, but why? So getting somebody else, like those things I think are really, 100%. Actually, I just had a dad reach out to me because his daughter is just looking at applying to university. So she's not even graduated high school yet, but already talking about master's and potential PhD and just having that sort of mentor.
Yeah.
But even from a young age, like see what they're passionate, give them exposure to lots of different things and really sort of support that.
Yeah, even if you don't agree with it, even if you don't buy into it, it's not your thing. If it's your kid's interest, take an interest, right? Offer to help. Like so many people I know growing up with video games, right? Video games are a waste of time. Video games are a multi-billion-dollar industry now. And there are kids that have come out of our generation. So our kids that are now getting older that make millions a year playing games.
Yeah.
Right? It is a legitimate career path now, right? But back in the 80s and 90s, it was just a waste of time. It's a waste of time.
Fred Savage with the Nintendo.
With the Power Glove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think to your point, just like with Minecraft, actually Willow's teacher did a great, they had to create their own, they were learning about ancient Greece. Mm-hmm. And like they had to create their own ancient Athens.
Yeah, they had to create some
society using Minecraft. And so it's using those games in a way to help support their learning.
There's games that you can learn a ton of stuff, right? Like Roller Coaster Tycoon. All it is a simulator that you build an amusement park, but it teaches you different things, right? Like how you manage money. Right, how you reinvest money back into and they're not thinking about it as they're learning it, but there's opportunities for these lessons as they play a game. There's a ton out there if they take an interest.
This is really going sideways because totally I don't prescribe to video games, but
you should. They're fantastic. Listen, everybody, forget what she said for the past couple of years. Screens are good. Okay, that's what we're coming from a set.
No.
Where's your buzzer?
I know. Okay. I just did. I'm not doing a screen time talk anymore. I just can't do it. It's such a heavy topic. And I know parents want to hear it, but then when they hear it, they don't want to hear it. And I never leave those talks feeling good.
No.
Because it's just heavy and all the pushback.
Well, most of the parents from when you describe it flip the switch and start getting defensive. Yeah. They come in trying to learn, but as soon as you're like, you need to take the screens away. They can't reconcile it.
Yeah. Well, as soon as I start saying like more than 2 hours a day is addicting. If your kid can't transition off when you say, hey, bud, Kate, come, it's dinner, and they put up a fight, you're looking at possible addiction. Anyway, we're going down a sideways path.
Any final thoughts to summarize what we talked about? Because we started off the rails and we're ending off the rails.
No, I think that's it. Just our kids need lots of opportunities. Yeah. The right environment, a village of people to support them.
And when in doubt, make them read about Kobe Bryant and the Black Mamba mentality. There you go.
Right. I got to get up in a couple hours.
Later.
Adios.